Greetings, everyone. This is Haki Ami, the Success Scholar here. I'm going to call this piece Expanding Your Consciousness and Expanding Out of Your Comfort Zone. Uh, I do post on social media, and my social media support and followers are certainly growing. More and more individuals are seeing me out and active. I'm able to actually accomplish much of the things that I anticipated on doing, that I believe that I could do. So, I'm just really thankful for those who have been supporters and sharing my videos, because if you don't know me by now, or if you haven't seen me, certainly within the East Coast DMV area, you may not necessarily be showing up at the right places. Say that respectfully on some levels. Definitely connected to the right people. But there was a recent, case, where sometimes you see people, and they talking down to others, that have lesser knowledge, but they don't realize that they are in a slave state themselves. And I'll just give you this example. For instance, in Baltimore, there's a bookstore in Baltimore. We won't say no names of the bookstore, but several individuals, have been hanging around the bookstore for years. Now, granted, I've certainly been one to, you know, frequent and support black bookstores, particularly ones that are, have a good, stock of quality books that we must read. But one thing that I've always, been aware of, if the people around you, if your team, your crew are not growing with you, that means that you're not growing, right? And let me just show what I mean by that, if I can. For years, just growing up in Baltimore myself, I have seen, the difference between me leaving Baltimore and being able to come back and interact with others, because now it's like I don't, the habits that have been formed through childhood, or early adulthood, you become who you associate with the most, and the books that you read. But I've come to realize that, uh, you really do have to get out. You just can't read a few books and think that, you are, you God's gift to the conscious people of Baltimore. Um, as well as you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again for 5 and 10 years, expecting different results, preaching to the same individuals. Now, what I mean by that, for instance, you know, I've done various lectures in Baltimore. Well, I brought in speakers, shall I say, some brothers from DC, Ashwa Kwesi, Francis Cresswell Singh, some other sisters from Atlanta, some New York folk came down and did some lectures, and I did some partial lectures with, with a few other people. Went to Newport News and spoke, did a presentation. Um, Went to Philadelphia and presented. Actually, went to New York just recently and moderated a panel. So I've, definitely, and I actually I did went to Paterson, New Jersey as well. So I can say in D.C. I sat on a panel. So it's like Richmond. Did I speak in Richmond? No, I said a few words perhaps in Richmond, but certainly, from Richmond on up to New York, I've definitely had a good, kind of leverage getting myself out there. But one thing that I had to do over the years, because I used to host a radio show on Harambe Radio for HarambeRadio.com for like 4 years. Sometimes I did a show for an hour. A lot of times I did it for 2, and sometimes I got up to 3 hours doing 3-hour radio shows. So that was a lot of content at that particular time that I was able to get. Um, and and some people would say, especially DC area, uh, folk in the DC area, folk in definitely in the Baltimore area. I had a lot of different people on. A lot of people came through, and a lot of people. This blog talk wasn't even out then, so uh, I interviewed a lot of individuals. A lot of people came through that Transformation Network show over those years. I so wish I kept a lot of that content, but um, but uh, I realized something over time. I said, I've been preaching to the choir for a long time, and I had to realize that, you know, you've given all you can to your flock, your peers, and now you gotta take your message and get the unconscious, if you will, or um, people who haven't heard your message. So sometimes, if people are not listening, or maybe you got to check what you're saying. So I had to evaluate what I was saying, and not and sometimes not everybody, gonna are conscious enough to comprehend what you're saying anyway. So I had to balance that out. But my point is that, again, I had to have the wisdom to know when to mix it up, when to mix up, just audio, just doing the audios, when to do videos, and even sometimes, I don't come back, I don't do YouTube much, because, I'm doing my radio show. Um, so, with that being said, I think that we, some of us tend to stay in our little place. Like, for instance, I know some folks, that have been doing radio shows for 5, 6, 7 years, and they just still doing it. They don't do nothing else. They don't go nowhere. They don't. I mean, they really just like regurgitate the same information in a different form to the same people, and they never grow, and they're never gonna grow. They don't create products. They don't learn from other people, so you can't see your lack of growth or what you don't know. And so I'm saying that I've seen that amongst many so-called conscious people, especially in Baltimore, on 1010, on 1010 a.m., as well as on 1590. Not going to say any particular names, but some of them have their opinions of me. But I'm growing. I'm growing. I'm making moves, becoming more and more successful. I'm going to speak in Cleveland. Yes, I am. Yes, and for those that said on the radio that I shouldn't, or not me, that we shouldn't associate with somebody because something crazy, envious, jealous that some of these folk on 1590 have say in their mind. Later for that, man. That's cowardly, in this time. So we're going to the RNC convention, but I'm sorry, the convention of the press there. So I want to just say this to everyone, continue to grow, continue to learn, uh, continue to stay in your lane and create your own lanes. I'm definitely creating mine. We have some amazing things coming up in the Baltimore area. It just keeps getting better and better. I'm just excited. I created other opportunities, and not everybody that you work with are going to agree with you, but I just come to realize if people are, if they don't smoke and don't drink and are healthy and have a little get up and go, I'm ready to work with you. I'm ready to roll with you. So I say to you, don't let the conscious, you know, perceived conscious individuals, determine where you should be. because many of them, have failed to grow up and fail to take us to another level. So I'm saying that, I'm reaching out to those that are, making power moves, that are doing things, and I'm showing up. I'm bringing, and I'm adding value, and I'm not like waiting for anybody to bless me and magic wand me. Oh, come on up, a poor sad Negro. Let me help you. No, I'm not. I'm not at this particular time. I'm not. I'm adding value. I'm bringing knowledge, bringing assets, and bringing resources to individuals. So I say, let's build. Join. Click like on Harambe Books and Hakiyami Enterprises, as well as go to my website successscholar.haki.com, or join my Facebook group Saving the Black Community, Black people from the conscious community. So definitely for you all that's in Cleveland, and you can get my book too, so, Mission Unstoppable, on my audio, or you can look at some of my shows. I'm on elifemedia.net. You can get the Ustream app, and I'm putting them up on Ustream. I'm sorry, on YouTube under the Ustream. So I've been having a lot of shows over the past 2-3 months for a lot of good, serious people. So I don't just do these, I'm putting together some real high level professional presentations. So you've seen growth. Uh, if you've been paying attention over the past few years, moves are being made. Definitely staying unstoppable. Um, you know, just ready to go to another level. So with that is all I have. Talk to you soon. Peace.